guests, thank you very much for this opportunity. The students, the most important people in this room, at least from my perspective, this message is for you, because in many ways it is about you. When I was in kindergarten, my first report card, they were handwritten back then, questioned whether Cindy had any fun. We just can't tell because she's so quiet and shy. And I was. Knobby-kneed, pigeon-toed, scared to death. I am today not that far removed from the little 5-year-old girl in kindergarten with the scared to death report card. But somewhere along the way, I had to have figured out how to project a different image. That has to be the case because here I am, standing here in regalia, accepting an award achievement and wondering, quite frankly, all the while, how in the world did I get here? Growing up in Lee Summit, which was in a very sleepy little suburb, I was one of 3 children, one of innumerable cousins between my parents. I had 14 aunts and uncles, and I was the first in my family, amongst all of my aunts and uncles and cousins, with the opportunity and with the desire to attend college. I was drawn here to the Hill by a debate scholarship. It was a whopping $250 a year. Let me tell you, to a young woman who didn't even own a car until I was 18, because that's how long it took me to save the money to buy one. I felt like with that scholarship that I had won the Publishers Clearinghouse. They didn't have a lottery back then. So that 30-minute drive from Lee Summit with my 1970 Chevelle packed to the gills might as well have been a 3,000-mile journey to another planet. I was so unprepared for college life, having no frame of reference, and frankly no resource to draw on. But on reflection, I'm here to tell you that selecting Jewel was the biggest lucky break of my life. I happened upon an institution that challenged my mind, that permitted me to embrace new opportunities that would have been deprived me on a large, nameless, faceless campus. I pledged a sorority, Alpha Delta Pi, and gained sisters and lifelong friends. I traveled across the country to debate tournaments. No small accomplishment for a girl who had never left the state of Missouri before attending college. And I was humbled while I was here to contribute to the rich and successful tradition of forensics at Jewel, charted by the inimitable Georgia B. Bowman. I learned invaluable life skills. For example, I learned how to track the security guard in his cushioned cart across campus so I could make it into the doors at Simple Hall before he arrived to lock them for curfew. Yes, we had curfew. I was overwhelmed at my first frat party. I had never, ever, ever been around so much fun. I scrimped and I saved to go to Daytona Beach for the spring break of my senior year, and I was so late signing up that the only seat left on the bus was on the top of a cooler. I took it. It was a long trip. I learned here to be a survivor. We spent Sundays at Long's Cafe because Dean Nay's cafeteria and the mystery leftovers just weren't a good alternatives on those days. We drove to Clay Como, folks, to find a McDonald's and to In a Tub for tacos. There were no fast food restaurants of any kind in Liberty at that time. For a real thrill, we would load up the car and take 2-lane Berry Road to Metro North Mall. It opened in 1977. Liberty was so small and isolated that a decision to venture into the big city for a night of entertainment was a veritable road trip. And somewhere along the way, that little girl who was so quiet and shy that her teacher could not tell if she was having fun, developed the confidence to fulfill her dream to become a lawyer, and now her ultimate dream of serving the citizens of the state of Missouri as a judge on the Missouri Court of Appeals. At Jewel, I honed the art of persuasion with the help of Penny Romans and Tom Willett and my communication major. I acquired an invaluable understanding and acceptance of the human condition through the extraordinary teachings of the psychology department. Dr. Chastain